Hi, this is Unit 1925 and this is Part 4. This is about the implementation and monitoring of a program. You need to have an implementation plan, particularly if your program is longer or more complex. So you might have a program which goes for a whole week, or it might be for 1 weeknight for a whole term, and those programs are quite complex and quite long, and you would need a detailed implementation plan. If you've got a program which just goes for, say, one evening, for a couple of hours one evening, you're still going to need some sort of plan, but it won't be as detailed, won't have as much detail in it. So the first part of the implementation plan is to formalise your partnership. So that's the people who are involved in your program, your partners, the people who are helping you. In a larger, more complex program, then you might have formal partnership agreements, written agreements, so everybody knows what they're doing and to ensure the commitment. In a shorter program or a less complex program, you might simply talk to people, make sure they know what they're doing, and you might back that up with an email so that everybody knows their role and so that they have that commitment to your program. Question 23 asks, why is it important to formalise partnerships? Most programs are going to have a program plan. That's going to include things like the sort of activities in the program, the timetable of activities, the program delivery processes, staff involved in each part of the program, resources required for the program, information about handling critical incidents in the program, and student management information in the program. Question 24 asks the sort of detail that you would expect to find in a program plan. As part of implementing the program, you're going to be allocating resources, and these resources might be human resources, they might be building, equipment, consumable resources, but you're going to have to allocate those resources throughout your program. Another part of implementing a program is making adjustments to the program as you go along, and that could be for a whole range of different reasons. Might be because you've got a decrease in funding or additional participants, and you can probably think of a heap of different reasons why you'd make adjustments to a program. Question 25 asks for 2 reasons why you might make adjustments to a program. Another part of implementing a program is to recruit the staff that you need. Now, very often these will just be people who are already involved in your boarding program, and then they can have a part in your actual program. Sometimes, if it's a larger program, you may actually need to recruit staff, employ staff. Once you've employed staff, the training and induction is very important. And that's because you're working with other people's children. You need a certain standard of care, a duty of care, and also you need people to embrace the spirit or the ethos of your program. What's it for? You need them to embrace that ethos. And as well as that, you may have special training that's required for special programs. For example, you might have a liaison officer or a recreation officer, something like that, and those people may need special training. Question 26 asks why training and induction are so important. Also, another part of the implementation plan connected with staff is just to make sure that staff are managed well. Another part of the implementation plan is to make sure that we've got communication systems and software or computer systems that will support our program. And again, if you've got a large, complex program, then you might need, computers, software, apps, communication devices, even phones, for example, to support your program. So you need to make sure that you've got all that sort of thing in place. So the implementation plan. As the program commences, we must be sure of 3 things. The first is that the program is consistent with the program plan. The second is that it follows the organisation's policies and procedures, and the third is that it follows all of your legislative requirements. So those 3 things. Question 27 asks, as the program commences, what 3 things must we ensure? As part of implementation, we must have a quality assurance plan, and quality assurance is something that needs to be looked at from the start of the program right through all the different stages of the program until the end of the program. So there must be some way of making sure that that quality assurance happens. As part of the implementation plan, you're going to want to monitor and evaluate your program. And you do this with an evaluation plan. And an evaluation plan tells you if your program is on track, if it's doing the sort of things it should be doing. And an evaluation plan will include a way in which you can collect process data. And so we call that process evaluation. And so you're collecting data all the way through the program. And so that could be from things like attendance, different activities, attendance at different activities. And you generally collect this data on forms. And the other thing about an evaluation or a monitoring program is it's a way of collecting feedback from the participants and also from any of the stakeholders, anybody who wants to or needs to give feedback into the program. A part of the implementation is to address issues and challenges as they come up. And you can do this by viewing the process data from your process evaluation, looking at the data and looking at any issues and challenges that arise from that. You can also meet together regularly, look at changing contexts, look at things that are changing in your program and work out strategies to address those changes or to address those issues and challenges as they come up. And you need to make sure that you do address issues promptly, don't let them drag on. Question 29 asks what staff and management can do to respond to issues and challenges to make sure that the program is still meeting student needs. It's important to celebrate success early and all the way through the program. And the reason we do that is because this brings new energy, new buy-in to the program. Celebrating success is important. Question 30 asks, why is it important to celebrate successes early in the program? Part of the implementation plan will be the documentation. The documentation must be very clear, must be to the required standard, right format, and all of that. So making sure that that's all very correct is important. Part of that documentation will be the process evaluation, all the data from the process evaluation. And it's really good to have a consistent format. So you might have something like a journal or a day book, or you might be doing this on Excel or something like that, but just having a very consistent format so that your program is documented correctly and accurately. Question 31 says that it's important that documentation is maintained and that it's accurate. And question 31 asks, what would you expect to see in a documentation program? And that's the end of part 4.